Right on, writers, and welcome first-time viewers to the Books by Adrian author platform. This is Typewriters Podcast, an after show to Livestream Sunday, where we spend a little more time with this week's guest and sort of wind everything down a little bit. It's going to be nice. I am your host, Adrian Santiago. This is my channel. This is one of the many shows that I do on here. Livestream Sunday is on Sundays from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Typewriters Podcast comes out on Thursdays. The video versions like this one all come out at 11 a.m. on Thursdays, and the audio versions are available as of midnight, as of the turn of the clock. So catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. Hit subscribe to the podcast feeds if you're doing the audio only versions. 5-star reviews on those platforms are how you help us out. I specify 5-star reviews. If you hit 5 stars, you can say whatever you want in the review. It doesn't even have to be about the show. You can sing a song. I don't care, but give me 5 stars, and that'll help us out. Awesome. Also, downloading the episodes is the other one that people don't always know. Is rather than just subscribing to the feed on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, actually clicking download will boost the show up. Even if you delete it later, that's fine. Just help me out. Awesome. We're gonna bring out Sako Tumi in a minute here. I wanted to go over, we also do the Tuber Book Club. We just launched that. That was on Tuesday, the launch video, so you should have all seen it by the time this airs. So I hope that you guys will join us in reading Blind Spot by Kent Shawn. We're going to do 2 streams where we talk about the book, the first 19 chapters and then the latter 18 chapters. And then we're going to move on to another book, but the Tuber Book Club only reads books by AuthorTubers. The next set of books will be put on a poll for the community to vote for, but the choices will be determined by the panelists on this book's streams. So the panelists for Blind Spot are going to pick the next book. It's going to be a lot of fun. The next books that you can vote on, and then you guys pick the next book. All right. That's it. Hit subscribe, comment, yada yada. Help me out. Let's bring out Sako. Sako!
Woo!
Sako's here. Welcome back. I know it's only been a couple minutes for you. It's been about 4 days for everybody else. So it's all time travel-y, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff, right? Yeah. We had a couple of questions that we didn't get to in the outline, so we're gonna go back to that. And the first, how are you feeling about the show? I thought it went well. It was fun.
I thought it went great. Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
The chat gave some really good questions.
Yeah,
and it was really nice having Aphrodite Lee there to bounce off of with you. That was nice,
Yeah,
getting corroborating perspectives. I dig it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. What stories, books, movies, TV, whatever, can you point to as faithful depictions of real witches besides your own books, besides your own stories?
Faithful.
There must be very few. I'm guessing.
Dresden Files kind of skirts the line a little bit. Iron Druid is another good one.
I haven't heard of that one. What's that one?
It's literally about a modern day druid and the adventures thereof. I think those are my top 2, like, witchy fiction that I actually really like.
I always wondered what real world witches thought of Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh,
because it's bananas, but it's also like
it's also very much so based on Nicholas Flamel.
Yeah.
Like it's derivative off of real magic.
Yeah. it's pretty crazy, like what they can do on that show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've always really enjoyed that one, and always wondered for a little review.
Yeah.
Let's see here, and so we I was gonna ask like some of the bad examples, but we've kind of covered those on live stream Sunday, and how it's those kind of cliched, like closed-minded interpretations of witches, where it's like, oh, they're this or they're this, and it's like, no, they're not. But
They're not.
yeah.
They're a little bit of everything.
So what's something that even the good depictions miss in incorporating into what's something that you'd love to see in a witch's portrayal in fiction in the future from somebody else?
I think kind of also roping in the last question a little bit. My generation was very much so influenced by The Craft. And I learned my first spell from that movie.
Okay.
Like that was that binding that she does against Nancy is a legit spell. Like that, and it taught us as teenagers to kind of be careful of our coven mates and to choose people wisely and to just like be cautious about your practice and about practicing with other people.
Yeah, because
everybody has their own goals, and maybe your goals don't align.
Yeah, exactly. So it's and people with negative intentions can poison the well.
They can
poison the well. All right. What is next for Sako Tumi? What's the next big thing?
Boot camp for sure.
Boot camp. You said you were filming in spring and summer.
Do
you have an idea when you're gonna launch?
I'm gonna try and launch in. Hopefully, I'll be done editing by like September, October.
Okay.
And I'll be like multiple times a week, like posting the videos.
Yeah.
So that I can have it all up by Christmas, basically, and then essentially have it up long enough over the winter, so those of us who are snowed in or still reeling from the effects of the pandemic or whatever, then springtime they should feel confident enough to release their book and be able to market it pretty consistently.
Nice, because man, I really feel like marketing is the biggest piece of the puzzle that
it is
that people are not putting enough energy into.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of folks, and if that's your goal, to just advertise on YouTube with your own channel and that's it, a lot of people are very successful at that. Maybe your aspirations are set at a nice realistic level, whatever it is. If that's your path, absolutely go for it. But in my opinion, for me, I'm putting out a book. I want to quit my day job. I want to become a full-time self-published author. I want to sustain a lifestyle with my family based off of what I do. So I need to come at this like a business, which is what it is. And you need to market the hell out of whatever you're selling. I'm selling a product that I want people to buy. So marketing is essential to everything. And I have some backup. I've got 2 producers that are working with me, and so like I'm not alone, but it's always great to have more resources like the one that you're talking about.
Yeah. I did think about offering my marketing services to authors, like I offer formatting and cover design and stuff like that. But I feel like teaching Amanda Fish and is gonna go a lot farther than, just giving him some fish and hoping he survives.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't like to talk about myself too much on Livestream Sunday. I like it to be about the guest, but I'm kind of giddy about something that I kind of want to share.
Cool.
As of 2 days ago, I hired my sister to edit the first novel. So she's gonna get started in about 2 weeks, and I'm gonna start getting chapters back from her soon. And I'm gonna be diving into book 2 pretty soon. And so much is going on where I'm measuring out like time, like when it's gonna come out. So like I'm hoping that if my edits go in a timely manner, that I can have this out by Christmas, by that holiday season.
I give them 2 months.
For give them 2 months, yeah. I
Give them 2 months. That
timed
way.
her out at least 2 months. I think I was generous and timed her out at 2.5.
Okay.
I think
That's legit. Like, if you're gonna pass the book off to someone else, give them time to read it. Like, they haven't been spending the time with the book that you have, so give them time to actually spend with the book.
I love the way my sister edits. She has a degree in creative writing, and she she's a published poet, and she's amazing. And she wrote a really great screenplay that I keep like poking at her to do something with. But I love the way that she edits, because she doesn't just like correct things that she sees needs correcting, and she doesn't just comment on like how to make things better, which she does, and her insight in that stuff is really great. But she also like puts her reader reactions in there too.
That is essential.
Oh, I love it so much. It's like crack to me, because every time she tells me that something made her laugh, or she even like includes when like a character says something that makes her like spark a question, like, wait, doesn't that mean this, or where does this go, or whatever question like sparks in her brain because of that line, she'll put in there. It really like helps you see like what the reader is going to be thinking about, what the reader is going to be putting together, where the mysteries are, where the clues are, where the red herrings are. It's all going to tie together, especially in a murder mystery. So
because if your editor finds it, then readers are going to find it for sure.
You better be damn sure they're going to find it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So anyway, I'm just really excited.
I would be too. Jeez.
So after her edit, after she sends it back, and I work that into a real presentable draft, then it's going to go to critique partners. I have at least 3 lined up, and then after that, some beta readers, and then after that, if I still need an edit, I'll go to like another, editor and do it again. But I should be good to go after all that revision and critique. Especially, I'm gonna have at least the 3 that have volunteered so far are Kent Sean, Colin Clark, and Bethany Vota, and all 3 of them I would trust with this thing alone.
Yeah.
For each of them,
that's a stellar team. Holy cannoli!
If they critique the heck out of this, then I think I'll be all right. I think I'll be all right. I might not need another.
Wow, what a team!
I'm excited.
Yay!
All right. Okay, enough about me. There's always the classics, right? Do you struggle with writer's block? How do you fight it? Normally, this is like a throwaway question for me, for most people, where I'm just filling time. But in your case, I'm especially interested because of your witchcrafty solution that you probably have to such energies. How do you feel about writer's block? How do you fight it?
Go. I don't believe in writer's block.
Thank you. Me neither.
Hey, like, you got to sit down, you got to barrel through it. But if you come up to a wall, what I do is, what is the worst possible thing that can happen to this character in this moment? And then I run them through it. That is like that is my answer to hitting walls. Is
torture the main character.
Torture them and and see how they thrive. See how it's like.
See, your answer is very similar to how I feel about it, because that's basically what I feel, is that if you run into a wall, as you say, what it basically means is that either something is wrong in the story and you need to shake things up, or you didn't do enough work on your outline.
There's
Go back to your outline and
there's
see, you
a
know.
there's another author that her system for beating out walls like that is you start deleting,
Okay.
and you stop deleting when you feel like writing again.
Okay. I've never heard this before.
Yeah, like
Interesting.
I think it's a really interesting take on because obviously you went a direction that didn't
Yeah.
work out, right?
Yeah.
So like backing up,
Back
back,
up to where you feel comfortable again.
I would save a
Is
draft of it somewhere else, like just for posterity's sake.
I
But like,
mean,
but having a version of it that
ballsy.
you can hack apart,
Yeah.
like is
It's
super
interesting
helpful.
because it'll open your eyes to what's important to you in the story. You're going to be deleting, and then all of a sudden you could be like, I can't delete this, and
Right.
that's where you're like, oh, okay,
Oh,
here's
here's
where I went
where I
left and I
went
should have
wrong.
gone right. Yeah, like
Hmm.
just go right instead of left this time.
Yeah.
That's such an interesting take on it. I freaking love that. See, I usually will go back to my outline, see where I'm supposed to go next, see what the connective tissue problem might be. But in other cases, it'll be because I was sort of like free writing the. Even though I have an outline, when I write, I allow for that,
Yeah.
and I went off in some weird direction, and maybe it was all good or whatever. But I've hit that wall, and you're like, gotta go back to the outline and
Got to go
write
back
this.
to the
Gotta
outline
write this
and
course. Gotta set me
hmm
back on the right path. Interesting.
yeah.
Now, what about imposter syndrome? This whole like, oh, am I as good as these other people, or should I even be here doing this when the greats are doing this? Imposter syndrome. What about
I
that?
don't suffer from imposter syndrome, so I don't know. I have more than 20 years experience in just about every avenue of this. So I feel like if I've put in the time,
You're in your element. Yeah, yeah.
like I know what I'm talking about. I paid money to know what I'm talking about, and I'll probably be in debt for the rest of my life. But at least I know what I'm talking about.
You're in your bag. You're in your bag. I like it.
Yeah.
Do you have plans to adapt your books and stories into other mediums, movies, TV?
Movies and TV would be nice, like I would love to see Hope's Chest like developed into a movie or something.
Hmm.
Like obviously they'd have to hack it down, but
Flambeau has real like TV series potential. I think it
mhm.
screams like HBO
I
or
think
Showtime or
I
something.
think that'd be fun.
Like, yeah, like a real like serious take
But I
on
have no intention of selling the story in such a capacity.
right
I
on.
might expand to audiobooks
Nice.
here in the near future. I just got to find the right people to narrate.
I haven't even thought about audiobooks. I got so much to do.
Yeah.
Now, what is your editing process like? We were talking about mine, just starting not too long ago. So, how do you go about editing your books? What sources do you go to edit your books,
I
etc.?
used to go through a site called Edit Minion. Edit Minion was really great at like picking out adverbs and picking out weak sentences,
So it
picking
was
out
like a automated thing, like a
like Pro Writer or whatever it is,
gotcha.
like Pro Writing Aid. Except Pro Writing Aid isn't as good as Edit Minion was,
Hmm.
right? So I do a developmental run first. I read through the whole thing and I make sure that it flows as a story and it works that way.
Yeah.
And then once I know that, I'll actually go through and I'll copy edit.
Hmm.
I'll do it in waves, right? So
Right.
like all the adverbs, and then all the weak. And with each book that I'm writing, I'm getting better the first time around.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't have to go back and fix.
Yeah.
I don't have to go back and fix things if I do it right the first time. Right.
I love it.
So I learn a lot with every edit that I do, and hiring a professional to do developmental stuff has been super helpful.
Yeah.
I got really lucky with Hope's Chest, and I got a beta reader actually do developmental edits for me. I bought her flowers once I released the book. Man, nice. Like, thank you so much for everything that you've done for me, because this book would not be what it is without you. Like, yeah, real.
My sister's edit, I'm considering a developmental edit, or anyway, that's the goal. It's a developmental edit, pacing, story structure. We're gonna chop this thing up, and it's awesome because if anybody read my actual first draft stuff, you would never pick up my stuff again. But anyone who has read my chapters will usually give me good feedback, even if there are things to correct. There's always things to correct, but they'll always give me good feedback because they say it doesn't read like a first draft, and I go, that's my sister. She edits everything before anybody sees anything. My sister.
So you have an alpha reader, basically.
Yeah, I have an alpha. Yeah, and so her input is essential into breathing kind of life into my writing. So I can't speak highly enough about having somebody like that in your circle.
For real.
Yeah.
I would like to plug Rose City Editing for a hot minute. Jace Maxwell, Meadow Lamoureux, they have a editing company together, and Jace Maxwell does some stellar visual, like, developmental editing, like, just chef's kiss.
Awesome.
Like, the questions that he asks and the avenues that he can take your characters, the avenue that you can take your meta plot, and, like, just super helpful, like, worth every penny. Absolutely.
All right. I might reach out to this dude too. Add him to the arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. That's beautiful. Sako, is there anything that you wanted to cover today on these two shows that we have not yet gotten to before we start wrapping it up today?
I think I pretty much got to cover everything that I wanted to. Yeah, for sure.
I feel the same. Yeah. This was awesome. This was fun, and I can't wait to have you back. Next book you put out, let's do this again.
Yay!
And I just say goodbye to everybody at home.
Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as Cass Voight. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. If you like this video at any point, I encourage you to hit the like button, and if you would like to see more videos like this one, then I advise that you hit subscribe and maybe even ring that bell on the off chance that YouTube notifies you when a video goes up, and we will catch you on the flip side.
You're the best. You're the best. I have no words. Thank you for being awesome. Everybody who tuned in, thank you for watching. And when this airs, there'll be there'll be a live chat during the premiere.
Oh, great.
After this,
I'll try and be present.
Setting it up. Yeah, if you can make it, it'll be 11 a.m. on Thursday. And
great.
Hopefully at this point in the video, they'll have already been talking to you.
Yay.
All right, y'all. Right on, writers. We out.